Are you going to try to qualify this year?
No. I honestly didn't even do many of those when I was playing. Because 36 holes is always hard on my back. And I'm like, what's the reward? I go get my shit kicked in for fucking 4 days. And I can go to the Travelers next week and have play like the most fun golf course ever. Nah.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Straight Down the Middle-ish. We are joined by a former card-carrying member of the PGA Tour. And
Just stop, Scott. This is a goddamn legend. We gotta do it. Graham DeLaet.
Graham DeLaet from Canada and by way of Boise, Idaho. Welcome to the pod.
Thanks. I was just thinking the first time I ever played with you was in the
Boise, Idaho.
Monday quali.
Yeah, that's
and you
right.
got through. He like made a putt on 18 and like threw his hat down and was like, finally.
Really?
Yeah.
God, some of that stuff. Ooh.
What year is that? 06?
Oh,
Yeah,
6 or
it's
7.
early,
Yeah.
No
06.
way.
Or
06.
7, yeah.
I was
you
there.
might
I
have
was
been
at that
there.
Monday.
You were there, bro. You were.
Yeah.
Because you stuck around that week.
That was an epic week.
That was an epic week.
That was a
Did you
coming
make the
out
cut?
party
That
for
was
Tim
my
Tebow.
introduction into Boise, Idaho.
It's a good spot.
Fucking best.
I was there too. There was a course with like no trees, whatever it was. Like
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was out in Nampa.
Ridgecrest, yeah.
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Did you play Pricey?
Yeah, I missed. But I was on a tear. I got my car that year from Mondays, but that one I missed.
You're living there, right?
Yeah, full time.
Full time.
You're back there?
You're. Oh yeah.
Full time, yeah. I got a place up in Donnelly, which is like kind of 2 hours north, of kind of up in the mountains on
Where
a
they
lake
filmed
there.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Right.
No.
No, it's not. But yeah, so we spent a lot of time up there. Kids are skiing in the winters and then lake stuff in the summer. It's good.
But you used to spend a little bit of time in Scottsdale, right?
I used to. I was actually just talking to Timmy Clark on the way over here. This is the
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
god, that's so weird.
Well, I said before coming, I said, Graham, we might have to give Graham the tag of Canadian's version of Tim Clark. Just, quietly went off injured and hasn't come back.
It's amazing how fast people forget you when. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're a mystery to a lot of people. Like, you are. I mean, where the fuck did Graham DeLaet go?
Yeah.
You know.
33 top 10s. I did look that up.
I wish I was still
fucking-
playing
that's
these $20 million
impressive.
purses.
Right.
Where are you with?
Don't you wish you were like 5 years younger?
Yeah, that would have been nice, but
Where
whatever.
are you with the body and injuries?
I'm pretty
and all
good
that?
day to day, man. I'm fine. I still play golf with my buddies. I'm gonna play with Matt tomorrow. But like I play like once a week kind of thing.
Watch
yeah.
out for him. He's a special. That back nine, you've been
Stop. Gee.
dude, you've been eating that back nine up.
I've played 3 rounds of golf since like October.
So your injury, it was low back.
Yeah.
That's.
So I had a couple surgeries, and then I've done some stem cell stuff and a nerve ablation. I've pretty much
You've tried everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cortisone
TC
shots
just
and-
tried the stem cell.
Yeah.
He just went to Baltimore or something and had it done. So-
Any results?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, day to day, I'm good. I just I can't put in the grind of everything that's
Yeah.
involved. Like I could probably go play like 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'd have to take some time off, but you need to be in a rhythm, to
Yeah.
like play properly.
So was it? You think can attribute it to golf or some kind of another injury that manifested?
When I
over
was
time?
like playing hockey and stuff growing up, I was like the 15-year-old kid who like literally in between periods I was like laying down on the floor stretching my back, and that's not normal for a 15-year-old. So I kind of just always dealt with it.
genetics.
I remember you 1 year at Q School, Bear Lakes. You weren't injured, but when I first got introduced to you as a stud, but yeah, you already had a tag of you carrying injuries, and that was like you were young.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, and it's one of those things that doesn't get easier as you get older, obviously. But
I want to talk about this hockey thing real quick, but we used to have the same trainer as well, and there's like 5 or 6 of us for a couple years with this dude Craig Davies, and it would be like you and Chappell would be in the best shape out of everyone, and you'd
always
be
hurt.
always hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable, dude. It was like,
I know I tried everything I could to
I know
prevent it.
I know
but-
you did, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people obviously
I know
just
you did.
come out with not the best start, just genetics or whatever.
Getting
Yeah.
back to the hockey thing with the Canadian stuff.
This is what always bugs them.
You know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah, I do.
Come on.
You're like everyone from Sweden and everyone from Canada. They're supposed to be like they could have gone pro and played
Yeah.
hockey. Or,
I mean, it is kind of like that's what the announcers go to.
Yeah.
It's their thing. It's like, oh, Adam Hadwin here, and they make it sound like he was gonna walk into the fucking pros and play NHL, but he just decided to play golf.
right.
you
I
know?
mean, like I played hockey my whole life growing up, and I was a pretty good hockey player. But I made a decision to play golf because I wasn't ever going to make the NHL.
What is it in Australia? It's cricket.
Cricket.
I could have been professional
should
cricket.
be,
I never,
right?
I've
Fuck,
never,
you
I've never
got
played a
Ling-
game. But if I had have played a
same
game,
thing. Lingmurth just got fucked. I mean, could have been.
Thank God there was golf hanging out.
I did play rugby for 8 years. That's pretty good.
When
Did
did you commit to golf, Graham? When
Basically, when I got to college, in all honesty, I was pretty late bloomer. Like I'd hurt my back originally playing hockey when I was 18. The first time it was like serious injury, and I was like, for almost like a month, my dad had to help me like put my socks on and stuff in the morning.
Yeah, that's fucked.
And then so he's like, you've always been a pretty good golfer. Like, why don't we start looking for a golf scholarship? So that's kind of how I ended up. Long story short, at Boise State was the best offer that I had financially, and that's how I ended up there. And then when I got to Boise State, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I'd never really, other than some Canadian AMs, I've never played any like big events. I played one AJGA in Calgary one year, and I finished like 70th or something. So like I didn't really know what to expect. And when I got down there, I was number one guy, like basically right out of the gates, and I started beating everyone, and I was like, well, maybe I can do this. And that's when I like really started practicing and playing. Like I played all the time because I loved the game, 36 holes every day, and played a bunch of tournaments, locally, like where I grew up. But I didn't ever really think that it was something I was going to do at a really high
Goddamn
level.
athlete. That's
Yeah.
what he is.
I bet Boise looks a little different from the day he started. I bet the population's probably tripled.
Yeah, it's a great town.
It's fucking awesome.
It's
there's-
such a treat going there, dude.
Yeah.
It's just
That
a
lazy
nice
river.
break. It's like everything's stopped there a little
Yeah.
bit, and it's a
That's
nice
great.
break from the rest of the world.
It's fun. Yeah, it used to be kind of a sleeper town that nobody knew about, but
Yeah.
the
Not
word's out
now.
now. Yeah.
how close to a ski hill are you?
So the one that there's one that's real close to downtown. It's like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the foothills. And then the one that we go to is Tamarack. It's like 90 minutes basically from Boise. And there's another one a couple hours. And Sun Valley is kind of like the famous one in Idaho.
And the kids are all into it.
Yeah. I have
Your twins,
twins, 7-year-old
Yeah.
twins, boy and a girl, and they both love it.
That's
right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
7, that's crazy.
I know, man.
Remember
It
when they were
happens
born?
fast.
Yeah.
All right, so you're coming from the Masters. Any takeaways?
I was a little surprised that Brooks, his performance on Sunday.
That was just very.
Yeah, and
So
it's like
you,
he
were,
had
you were
that-
there doing TV work.
I
right,
was, yeah,
for Canada.
TSN, yeah. So like we were talking about it on set, like he had this swagger like the first 3 days, like he used to, like when he was winning majors.
Yeah.
And he seemed to like on Sunday, it seemed like he almost like had like, it was like he was annoyed or something.
Right.
He wasn't like that same swagger. He was just
Well, he
kinda
was
like,
annoyed.
Well,
we
bro,
know
how
that.
could you not be annoyed?
Cantlay was human.
that.
They had a
Yeah.
rain delay, then they had the human rain delay of
Right.
Cantlay. Like he's just
Appropriate.
lovely kid, but
I
holy
know
shit.
it's hard because he's such a good player
He's a
and he's
great
an
dude.
awesome guy, but man, it's just painful.
Yeah, I
Painful.
mean, it Victor Hovland kind of
This-
got
Yeah.
fucked by it.
I actually put a tweet out after Rahm got up and down on the first, and I was like, I don't see. I'm going to be wrong here, but I don't see how Rahm doesn't win by 3. Only the fact that Rahm has been in this position for 4 months straight, and Koepka has, but it was last week. This is a major. There's I always said the Masters. I don't know. I've never played one. You would tell me. It's got to be the hardest one to win because it's the longest gap from the British Open. It's even a month than it used to be, a month longer.
Yeah.
It's the only major that has the same course. You don't really know the history of the US Opens because there are different courses,
Right.
The Masters, it must be 10x the history that is instilled in every pro's brain because it's the same course. So that's where I just thought that, I don't know, I just thought that it would be hard for Koepka to hang on.
Well, and
somehow
fuck,
right.
Rom did it through that worst wave too,
yeah,
which
he got
is
so screwed in that
Nah,
way.
he's a
Yeah.
fucking animal.
he is so good.
He was really in the tough stuff that came through. What was it,
Yeah.
Friday?
Saturday morning.
He was
too.
missing
Saturday
everything
morning.
right. That they had the shot tracer on his drivers, dude, and they were slicing 30 yards into the. You can play out of the trees at Augusta.
Yeah.
But everyone was going to the right. Sunday, some of those. He's not comfortable drawing the ball, but on 9 and 10 he took 3-wood, but 13,
And
13, 13 it was ball game.
Yeah.
After
When he hit that shot on 14, that's when it was official.
Yeah, stepped
That
on the
was-
gas.
Yeah.
I know he's been working on that draw. We randomly played 9 holes in, like caddied for Kirk in Phoenix, and the tee shots that were right to left, he was hitting right to left shots. So you could, whether it was for Augusta or whatever, you could tell obviously left to right is much more comfortable, but he's been working on that right to left thing for a while. So that's what he said. He said, once I hit that draw on 13, I think it's more like, a goal within a goal. It's like, hey, I got to hit one under the pump, around the corner, at Augusta, which clearly probably thinking about it for months, and he did it. So it was pretty cool.
Did you get a chance to go out and check that hole out?
No, I didn't go back out there to 13. So no, I didn't see it
Why
live.
didn't you?
Just man, because we have probably like a 3-hour break, and by the time you walk all the way down there and back, it was just like.
Oh, I meant like on Tuesday you didn't, or Wednesday you didn't want to.
So I was supposed to get in Sunday night, and there was all those tornadoes, going through the country.
Yeah.
So I got delayed. I ended up not getting in until Tuesday morning, so everything kind of got switched down.
Where do you stay there?
We rent a house. Yeah, it's like this. There's like 10 of us that stay in there. It's actually pretty fun.
You ever work with Mark Zucchino?
A little bit, yeah. He
does the live, he's a legend.
Yeah, he does the TV up in Canada. We kind of like go back and forth. So, it's weird. TSN has like a special thing with Augusta. I think them and Korea are the only ones that actually can put coverage on TV before CBS. So like when you have like those live at the Masters feeds, like whatever featured groups, and like we do for
Featured
ESPN
holes,
Plus, yeah, they actually air that on like TSN 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 or whatever. Whereas everywhere else you can only stream it.
Yeah.
So then during like commercial breaks, we'll actually like come on and like do like a little bit of like a live, like at the top of every hour, just like a 5-minute
Like the international
chat.
feed they do for Australia and that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And
cool.
so anyway, Zucchino's on in studio in Toronto, so we
Is
kind of
he?
go back and
Yeah,
forth.
that
Yeah.
guy makes me laugh.
So you mentioned the draw. I think that was the biggest thing that helped Koepka get in the position that he got, but also really benefited Rahm coming into the weekend. Like he had been through all that
like a little
crap.
tougher.
And I think once they teed it up on Sunday, he felt like he had Koepka where he wanted him. And then Koepka hits that I can make that swing too, onto 9 fairway from 1. I mean, it was a little bit nervy, and I think Rahm could smell that.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually.
Well, I mean, I just think Rahm's like best stuff is probably better than Brooks's best stuff.
Do you think he's the best when he's firing full? Like, is Rory the best when he's like on top of his game? He doesn't have the
No,
consistency
I know
that
what you're
Rahm
saying. He
does.
doesn't.
I think Rahm's more of a full package.
There was a time where you could say Dustin Johnson was that
Yeah.
guy. There's a time you could say Justin Thomas was that guy. Rory. I definitely think you can say Rahm. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah.
I think it's Rahm.
It
Yeah,
just
if
doesn't.
you said who's the best player in the world, Rahm or Scheffler, to me, I think Rahm.
I said like
long
2
term,
years
fine.
ago when he got to world number 1, I was like, this guy's going to be number 1 in the world. Crazy cool for like 7 or 8 years. I thought it. Then had kids. People deal with it differently. Some it helps, some it doesn't. And then now I think he's back. Like he's clearly the best left to right putter for a right-hander.
So good.
It's a joke. Like he just, whether it's placebo or whatever, there's so many guys that can't match it up. It's for the people who don't know, it's much easier to hit like an uphill right to left, so you can hit like a 4 out of 10 putt and hole it. But downhill left to right, which is the exact opposite, you need to be a 10 out of 10 line and
Yeah,
pace.
his putting is very
just-
underrated.
Yeah, it's,
He's right to left. He missed a bunch of right to lefters on Sunday, but the left to right ones, yeah, dude, he's
Yeah, it's
nasty with those.
unreal.
How about Phil last week?
Unreal.
Dude.
Didn't see that coming.
That's great.
Good
I
God.
saw him like in his press conference or whatever on Tuesday, and he
I
looked
saw
like
that.
gaunt. I'm like,
But he's
it
like,
just-
I am so close to going on a huge run. People don't understand. I'm so close. And I was like, you keep telling yourself that, Phil.
Uh-huh.
and he was right.
I didn't hear that.
Those
Yeah,
live
it's
players
crazy.
showed up though.
He called
I
it.
mean, there was 3 in the top 5 or something.
Yeah.
Top 6. Pretty
Yeah.
impressive, actually.
Yeah, I think I jumped in. They had like 12 guys make the cut. So out of 53, what's that? I'm terrible at math. 20% of the field is
Pretty
all
much,
from
yeah.
one.
Well,
from the
Data
one-
Golf, who, if you haven't clued on to Data Golf, they've got some crazy stats. Always have the cut lines, the percentages. They don't really factor in like upcoming wind and that, but they had the over/under at 11.5 for live guys to make the cut, so they were right on the number again.
Huh.
God, they're so good.
They're unbelievable.
How do you
Data-
set that line?
I don't know, but they just have all the metrics and they plug it in and
And then Na
AI.
withdraws after 9 holes. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, there goes one.
yeah. But so you're not obviously not competing much. You're TSN. You do some PGA Tour live stuff that Matt and I
Yeah.
chime in once in a while. And what? Anything else? Any?
You
on-
miss
Just-
playing?
I miss like being out there.
Yeah.
I don't miss like everything that goes into it, and I used to really enjoy it, like going to the gym and
Right.
practicing and like putting in all the time. I used to love it. I don't miss that at all anymore. Now that it's not part of my.
Now that you have kids
Yeah.
too, like it's almost impossible to do that stuff.
I know it's actually it's
and be a
amazing.
dad.
Like guys that like because I've had basically the last 4 years at home, and then obviously in a perfect world I would want to have been playing on the PGA Tour still, but like the amount of quality time I've gotten to spend with my kids and my family that I wouldn't have even known any different. It's pretty.
Yeah.
You'll never get that back. And like guys that have 20, 30-year careers, it's not that they're not good dads, but they don't get that quality time with their kids that they otherwise would have, and they just don't know any different.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand too that if you play, I'm guessing, I don't know for other sports, but even on your weeks off when you're a professional golfer, you're engaged. So you are with your kids, but subconscious or something you're still thinking about the next week, and it's a good thing. I'm telling you, you don't get it working, sitting behind an office desk, but it still takes energy away from other things where you just constantly. It's like homework you haven't done.
Yeah.
In high school, it's crazy. So it's good to not feel that. Obviously we'd all rather be.
It's like a
playing for 20
Wednesday
million.
on a week off, and you're thinking about that fucking 16th tee shot at whatever PGA National, and you're having like anxiety over.
Yeah, people don't understand that. I'm not complaining. Of course, it's actually a cool thing to have. It's like you
Just
climbing
get
the
past
mountain.
this shot. I'll be all right.
I remember one year I think we were in LA, and I was talking to Dre, and I was like, "Hey, are you playing Honda next week?" He was like, "Fuck that! That course is way too tough for me."
I definitely got a couple of scores that start with an 8.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one.
I played 3 times. I never made the cut. I mean, I did miss the cut twice by a shot, but speaking of that course was brutal.
Yeah.
So what's it like when you're covering for TSN? I mean, I'm kind of
Yeah, so I do. So basically, it's like ESPN of Canada. That's what
Yeah.
TSN. I think it's actually owned by so same thing, like
affiliate.
or whatever. So we do Sports Center hits. So we go to every major, excluding the British. We don't go over there. And we're on site, and we do just like a wrap up show. Always for Sports Center. Sometimes it's live, sometimes it's not. And then they'll do they call it like a scene setter. So we'll get there like 9 in the morning or whatever. Half the groups have kind of gone off. We just said, this is what the weather's doing. This is the early scoring, whatever. That just lives on their digital feed.
Mm-hmm.
But they're kind of long days. Like you get out there, same like 8, 9 in the morning, and you leave when the last putts basically hold, and you work for like fucking 6 minutes the entire
you
time.
work long hours.
So it's like it's not hard, but you're just out there a long time.
We did the PGA last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I remember messaging you like, "Hey, you want to grab dinner?" You're like, "I'm still here for another hour and a half."
I know.
Yeah, it sucks.
But it's good. It's easy work. The guys that I work with are awesome. And
That helps.
Pretty small
Yeah.
crew for you, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like at the Masters, it's different. They have like 2 camera guys, an engineer, an audio guy, and like the lady who kind of puts it all together, and then there's like a host, like kind of like the Scott Van Pelt of Canada. His name's James Duffy, and then Bob Weeks, who he's like
Is he bald as well?
No, he's not.
No.
So it's fun, and we just go back and have cocktails, and it's pretty good. Easy
yeah.
job.
That's the other nice part about being on the. You don't have to worry about like being a little hungover the next day. You can battle through it on TV.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, I mean, it's the truth.
So Team Canada, how did y'all do at the Masters? Y'all have anybody play well?
Mac Hughes was the only one who made the cut.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Weirzy actually played pretty well. The
He
first
did.
day he shot like
Yeah, he
even
shot
par.
Yeah. He was playing with Na when he
That's right. Yeah, and then he was a single.
solo.
Yeah.
Both my
Flying around.
Masters, I played with Mike Ware.
Did you?
Yep.
Wow.
He was a wizard.
Who else?
around that
Oh,
place.
his
I don't-
short game is so sick.
I don't remember. He was struggling off the tee. It was like,
Yeah.
it was not good.
What's what's his take on President's Cup, and how are y'all gonna field a team going forward?
Well, as far as like with live players and
Yeah,
that kind of
just
thing,
lives
I don't
like-
know what, because I think the PGA Tour owns or runs the President's Cup, so I
Yeah.
think they'll have the final say in who plays. So I would assume that it's only going to be current tour players.
How many Canadians are in line to go this year?
Well, you got to assume that Connors will
Connor's
be
gonna
there.
get in,
yeah.
Hadwin, possibly Mac Hughes. Adam Svensson won this year. Like,
Yep.
there's actually
He's
some.
good.
He is
Yeah.
good.
So I think potentially there could be like 3 or 4, but I would assume at least one.
Is Corey Connors the best Canadian right now, you think?
You know what? They're all kind of just
The same?
switching back and forth. Like one guy kind of is carrying the flag for a bit, and then they've had 3 guys win this year, which is the first time I think ever. 3 Canadians on tour, so it's in a good spot at golf in Canada.
Svensson, that guy flies under the radar, but
Yeah.
he's a really good player.
He's not that young though. Like he's not saying he's old, but
What is
Right.
he, low 30s?
yeah. But he's not like 23 or anything. But he's been good for a long time. It just, as you know, some takes people a while.
Yeah, figure it out.
I'm still learning, bro.
I'm glad I don't have to learn anymore.
God, isn't it this like the meanest game ever?
It is. It beats
It
you
is,
up.
but it's
so
fucking
rewarding,
great.
but it's also like it will literally just completely fuck with your life.
Yeah, people
I
don't
mean,
people don't understand that, and not that you're looking for a sob story or not, but it's
No, I'm not.
it's just it's your identity, really.
Yeah.
It's
That's the
fucking-
one thing was like hard. I don't know if you dealt with it too, but it's like,
well, you got full on like chipping aids for a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
but it's like you become like almost
Chipping aids.
no, but you become like you're like Aaron Price, the golfer,
Yeah.
and then when you're done, you're like, oh, that's Aaron Price. He used to play golf or
Right.
whatever. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
is
Yes,
it's your
so
identity.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm a realtor.
Yeah. Aaron Price, the realtor.
I have trouble with that,
He
and
does- he's
I respect my profession, and I really love it. But that's something I am still having trouble with. You know, I've identified as a golfer since I was 15.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh, you sell houses?" I'm like,
Well, it's kind of
I'm
that
insecure.
Graham.
I'm like, oh, I do more than
He's really doing realtor porn.
Handle high-end transactions.
"Yeah, but I don't know. But I'm not a golfer anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
I play like the U.S. Open qualifier each year. Which
Do ya?
That's a
doesn't
golfer
count.
to me.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like
are you entering just to go play it?
It
or?
justifies all my write-offs when I play golf and
I love
caddies and stuff.
when you said it to me one time, like he was like, "Do any of your buddies try to qualify for the U.S. Open?" I was like, pretty much all of them. And tell your story. It was like, what the like? What's the
Oh,
perfect?
I had a buddy once, and it was like. I don't
Basically,
know.
you told
basically
me-
the thing is if it's a pipe dream and you get in, like then what?
Then what?
You're
Right.
fucked. I mean, you're gonna embarrass.
Nope.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
Best
be fun.
case
I
scenario.
would, but I'd have fun doing it. And I've
I
played a
don't
couple,
know.
so I think that lightning in a bottle, I could definitely get through locals. I could shoot 200, no problems. Have to play really well for 36, but
You can do it.
You've got
100%.
7 days a year out of 365 where you can come off a drunken stupor. We still have
100%
talent.
you
I can
have
still
the
shoot 5
ability
under.
to get through.
But if I get to
that
LA,
stuff.
I don't give a shit. That USGA has a great corporate 10. It's all free. That's where I'm headed.
But it's like, and then your buddies who whatever they're realtors or whatever. It's like, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get there. It's going to cost you fucking 10 grand for the week. First of
Yeah.
all.
Well, thankfully now they give you 10 grand.
Do
just for
they?
showing
Oh,
up.
they do, but not if
Yeah.
you're an am, right? Like my.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
So it's like.
They
yeah.
cover your greens fees.
I was about to
and,
switch back to an amateur now.
Are you gonna
It's
try to
time for a
qualify
start.
this year?
No.
Really?
No. I can't. I didn't
Entry's
even.
closed tomorrow.
I honestly didn't even do many of those when I was playing.
Yeah.
Because 36 holes is always hard on my back. And I'm like, what's the reward? I go get my shit kicked in for fucking
Yeah,
4
fair
days.
point.
And I can go to the Travelers next week and play like the most fun golf course
Right.
ever. Nah.
That's another thing a lot of people don't understand. There's 5 or 8 or 10 guys who are between 60 and 150 in the world won't even do the Monday qualifier for the US Open. Like Kirk last year was...
You can't
I
be
think
bothered.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make sense to do that, and it's in my schedule. The week before or the week after might be a
if
money
you're
week.
out like chasing majors and like trying to be like John Rum, but it's like if you're out there making a living and being a professional golfer, it's just different. You pick your spots. And
Yeah, I don't know. Something about a West Coast Open to me that is special. Like I think this that's going to be a sick venue this year.
yeah, I've never played it. Have you?
Mm-mm.
You been
Seen
out there?
pictures.
I was supposed to play the Monday of LA, but Kirk withdrew.
Oh.
And then he won the
And then
next
he won
week
the
at
next
Honda
week without pricing.
without me.
That's one thing. If I could go
That's
back
cool.
and do it all over, I would play
More
a lot
courses
for
Yeah.
sure, man.
I feel
There's-
like
That's
did
all I do
a
now.
good. I've done a good.
I
share
love
of
playing
that.
new courses. I'm going to Chicago next month for a guys' golf trip and
yeah,
Chicago
like
golf.
play
short
Bel
races.
Air, or play
Yeah.
LACC or whatever, you know,
Right.
like
'Cause-
around Hilton Head this year in that Buford. There's some awesome golf
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Well,
Succession and what's
Secession, Chessie. The
Yeah.
one next door, Atlantic Dunes, is great. So
Yeah.
2 years ago on a caddy for Kirk, he was coming off a medical, was in an any Wednesday Pro-Am. So I took my clubs, and I ended up caddying like 10, 12 times. We played golf every Wednesday. Played Atlantic Dunes, Hilton Head Week. We played, what's the good one in Tampa?
Old Memorial.
Old Memorial.
Oh,
we
yeah.
played everywhere. Hartford Golf Club.
Yeah.
I had a field day. It's my paid Wednesday was to play golf with Kirk.
That's
But
fun.
I love.
You ever beat him?
I think I did a couple of times, but
You rub it in.
I didn't. No, I didn't. Didn't want to affect the confidence. I was thinking about my paycheck.
I miss Chris Kirk. Love that guy.
So you say you haven't played in months? I mean, not really touching the club
I
at
played
all,
one round of golf so far this year in Boise.
Yeah.
And before that, I played in December, a little member guest at Doral. And before that, I played in October. So I played like 4 rounds of golf. So I'm going to probably ask for some
So
strokes.
no expectations.
No,
I mean,
bro.
Zero.
how is the game though?
It depends. Like
Machine.
it's not tidy.
Do you need swing juice like me now?
Yeah, it always helps. It's nice.
Like your game always reminded me of Spencer Levine. Like
I miss Spence.
he's the best. But like you guys hit it exactly where you're aiming all the time. I think you played a little more aggressive than Spencer. Like Spencer he's one of the straightest hitters I've ever seen, and he plays more conservative than anybody I've ever
Yeah,
seen. And I'm
it's
like,
true.
dude, what are you doing? Like, this is your strength.
That's one thing too. Like looking back, when it's like I was never. Well, the analytics.
But you just were
they weren't even
lasers,
there.
bro.
I know, but I always played to like fat sides of greens, and it's like I never won, and it's like I look back, I'm like, if I'd have just given myself some credit and taken
Right.
some more things on, but
Right. Like if you're on the range and you're in a zone and you're hitting 10 7-irons in a row, I bet you could hit them within a 5-yard, window left to right. You get on the course and you're super dialed and there's water 10 yards left. You're shifting your target, but
Right.
for what really? Like
Exactly.
you're a stud. You're gonna.
yeah. So that's the one thing, and it's like I think it was the last year the Jules was with me full time, and he actually kind of like hired one of those analyst stat guys, yeah. And basically he went through a bunch of my stuff. He's like, you're like, your driving is like top notch, and you hit so many fucking hybrids and 3-woods. Like, why?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't want to be in the fairway bunkers and this and that. I want to be playing from the fairway. And it's like, you just like now you hit it as far as you can, and
Yeah.
you play aggressive. That's what all the best players do.
All of them, yeah. Well, a lot of the best players, like your driving might have been your strength. Why would you
Right.
take your strength away from you?
Yeah.
Like you should be using.
I know
that.
it's weird.
But we're fucking golfers.
It's
Why would I
crazy.
do that and get better? Fuck that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? The new debate of rolling the ball back forward. It seems like another thing where everyone's on one side or the other. But
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I like the skill in the game, and it's like it feels like now like it's like this bomb and gouge, and it's obviously with golf courses they can't stretch them out anymore, and but I just think that the best players in the world should be a skill to go out and shoot 6-7 under. Like I know Matt's like talked about like hybrids, like Adam Scott.
I've had the
It's
conversation
towering
with Adam
fucking
Scott.
2-irons, and now every single guy can hit a towering hybrid. It's like his advantage is gone. It's not right.
2010 San Antonio, Adam won. He broke a slump. I was going okay that way, but we had dinner and we literally had that conversation about hybrids, and I've brought up all sorts of names, but out of a shitty lie, he's one of the 4 people on earth that can get a 3-iron up and over
Yeah.
a tree. Now, like anyone, just slap on a hybrid, pops up.
Right.
Like
So it sounds like you're in favor of a little bit of rollback, but maybe do it a different way. Maybe not the ball. Maybe you could do it other ways.
I don't know. It's like it just seems like golf gets kind of boring when it's driver sandwich into every fucking par. Even a par 4s are 490 guys are hitting driver wedge into now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a round of golf with Tootie the other day, and he brought up some things that, because the golf ball is used in every shot, right? So if you change it, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
This manufacturing have to make a ball for, and this wasn't in his case, I promise. But he's like, you could change it, like just change tee heights. So if you could only tee at a certain height, you can't hit those big bombs that go
That
launch
sounds
with low
way
spin.
too simple.
Yeah.
But there's other ways, get rid of hybrids.
But is it that if it's that simple, like then we should do that? I mean, the
They
ball
should
thing
try
for
it.
the OEMs is a goddamn nightmare.
And I was all for it, and then I went back lately. But to change these balls for, it's 12 guys that are hitting this bomb and gouge. It's a lot. And then the point of, we've come a long way in 15 years with TrackMan and working out.
Right.
We're maxed.
Right.
TrackMan was it. I don't know. I don't think a human can start hitting the ball any further. I think we've maxed there. So that's the debate of like, hey,
I mean,
we're doing
the
this for 40
drivers
years.
now, like, I mean, you can hit one so high
Oh,
off the
they
toe,
should-
and it goes
It does,
fucking
yeah.
320 yards still.
What when we started?
There's
I
no
was
precision.
I started with wooden woods. They were
Yeah.
just changed like mid 90s,
Yeah.
and the Great Big Bertha we talked about the other week.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the thing. That Great Big Bertha looks like a 3-wood.
Yeah,
now.
the killer whale. Remember that one? Wilson.
There was a big change in drivers in like, I want to say 05 to 08. This is my personal experience. And when I was in college, I would tee it low. And my go-to shot with a driver, I wasn't a great driver, great iron player, but I would tee it low, and my miss was like a heel cut with my driver. And it would be a heel fucking cut. That's just what it was. Now, then they moved the like sweet spot on them a bit, and that shot just doesn't exist anymore. You can't hit that shot. There's only one way.
Remember
to hit
the
driver,
duck
and it's
hook?
up. You
When
can't
was the
hit
last time
down.
you
You
saw-
can't hit down on drive. You just
Right.
can't.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw someone hit a legitimate duck hook on tour? I haven't seen one in years.
Yeah,
These used to happen all the
it's tough
time.
to
Like
do.
when we first started.
Bring
out.
back the duck hook. That should be.
Bring back the shrimp sandwich.
One thing we haven't seen are scores go the wrong way. I mean, they got a good winning score there at Augusta,
Exactly.
12 under.
Imagine you had the rollback ball.
Guys
it would
were
have been able to reach
hitting
18.
at 270
shit.
off
Yeah.
the tee on a couple of holes. I mean,
Right.
what do we want?
And actually, like for the first 2 days, 13 played easier because less people were going for it.
Right?
They
Is
played
that
like
right?
3-shot hole?
0.15. It was like last year it was 4.85. The first 2 days was 4.71. So there you
I
go.
know what I want. I want this to go through and the USGA just to get like basically turn into the NCAA, like just not matter anymore.
Yeah. Thanks for your
Yeah.
input. We don't need
Thanks.
it.
There's still
Yeah,
that grudge.
We're done listening to you.
But the thing that Michael Wan said about like 30,000 courses, no. You don't have to change 10 courses, like the
Right.
major course, like some of the tour courses. You don't have to change. San Jose Country Club does not need to be changed.
Well, I played my rookie year on tour at Pebble with a guy. He was on the board for the USGA. Okay, he's my partner.
Yeah.
On the first hole at Pebble, he hits it like fucking 20 yards into the rough. Doesn't even make the fairway. I'm like, this is one of the guys who's
Yeah, 100%.
involved in making decisions for our game, and he can't even
100%.
hit it to the fucking fairway on one.
That's another thing. Like the players, the PGA Tour players should have, which I think they are. This is this questioning period or what it's called.
Yeah.
I think they are talking a lot to the players.
But the rollback thing is also, it's directly USGA's fault. Like they let it get here.
Yeah.
That-
Well,
that's-
and if
that's
they
on
do
their
anything
end.
now,
And the RNA.
I feel like it's just
Well,
a
whatever.
band-aid anyways. It's like if they try to button something down now, I mean, if this was done in 05, maybe it'd be
Yeah.
different, but it's like
If we go two separate rules for pros and amateurs, I think we don't stop at the golf ball. You go other places too. Like you have to have a set of irons in your bag, like 2 head covers per pro. you
Yeah.
know?
Can I ask a question? How do we go from the steel-headed TaylorMade burner to something that's what are the drivers now? 460.
Yeah.
Those things, what were they? 260. They were freaking
Right.
tiny. Who said okay 400? Okay 410, 440.
Right.
How do we get
460 is the max.
how
How
do
did
we
that
get to
happen?
460?
Yeah.
There'll be a 465 here
Like
soon.
Alice, who's never played golf, can get bat on ball with one of those drivers, the old ones.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. Maybe it is for participation. I don't know.
I'd just
But-
like to see the ball drop come back to shoulder height.
Same. It's so
That-
awkward.
like to make a rule, that's one of the rules.
That's where we
changes.
went. Exactly. That was important.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's going to speed up play, and now play is slowing down because
I think they've
nobody's
done a decent
enforcing
job.
penalties.
They've
I
done a
mean,
decent job, like changing the ball from 5 minutes. The ball look from 5 minutes to 3 minutes.
No, that was a terrible change.
I like
That's
it.
not enough time, dude. 3 minutes
with no help. I mean, it's like
There's got to be data how many balls were found before 3 and 5. It's probably not many.
I bet you if you asked every player, it would be like 80% or more would want 5 minutes.
Well, and your rounds
Yeah.
take forever.
Yeah.
And fucking Patrick
Well, in
Cantlay's ever
professional
said-
There's
golf,
other
but you
ways
don't
to-
need. I mean, it's like when you're playing with your buddies.
Oh
at
yeah,
Pablo
that's
Creek,
different.
Like,
yeah.
I-
I
half
don't
the time-
see it. Let's go.
Right.
leaf rule.
Yeah, for sure.
So new golf media. One of my takeaways from Augusta was just how kind of absurd looking it was to see a guy take a phone call during the round wearing an earpiece and just
I don't like this.
I don't either.
I don't like it at all. I know it's good for the fans, like they like it, but I was watching it. Riv, Colin Morikawa did on the 10th hole. They talked all the way down. He's like the pin's in the front left. He's kind of short left of the hole, and they're like talking to him, and he's like, explaining the shot he's gonna hit and this and that, and he fucking whatever. He hits it to like 6-7 feet, misses the putt. I'm like, this is no way that this
sends the wrong signal too. It all starts at the top. We talked about this the other day. These kids start seeing these like over the top conversations with player caddy, and they think that's what you have to do over every shot now. It's not normal.
Yeah.
It's not normal. Like,
It's a little cringy looking though. You got an earpiece in. You're the
Like-
only guy singled out. To,
Unironically, at Augusta, you know how to have a phone.
right.
right.
I don't know, like Rory.
I'm in a middle pretzel
Rory
here.
did it. I'm like, what's the focus here? Is it to get your green jacket and the career Grand Slam, or is it to fucking
And Nick
be the
Fowler-
poster boy
Yeah.
for the PGA Tour? Like,
Sorry guys, I'm just trying to win a golf tournament.
Yeah.
And
Nick
hang
Fowler
up.
was like, I could not believe anyone who's trying to win a green jacket would be trying to like talk to Jim Nance or whatever. Like,
right.
it's interesting. I'm not for or against, but
I think it's good for the fans, but I wouldn't do it as a player.
I'm for it in like at like Phoenix or something, but I'm not for it at a major.
or the John Deere or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting insight. They're still trying. We're gonna look back on all these like hokey gimmicks. We had the camera in the bag, like somebody's walking around Valspar with a camera stuck in Justin Thomas's bag.
really? I didn't
Here's
see
what
that.
it looks like with a camera in a bag.
Yeah, it's not NASCAR or Formula One where you got the cameras on the helmets.
Not yet.
Not the same.
Attach
yeah.
some GoPros to a helmet.
I
for
think
both.
like the PGA Tour Live is missing out big time on opening up the feed a little bit and giving the viewers a bit more of like real time experience. Like open those mics up on that tee box and let's hear what these guys are saying. You know what I'm saying? Like they're cutting off so much audio and it's
Yeah.
like, dude, this is great stuff here. Yes, there's going to be some F words. There's going to be some shit, some whatever. There's going to be some words. But that's okay. If you don't want to watch it, like don't watch it.
Put an MA tag or something. I don't know, like not
Premium.
But I think
Content.
it would
Subscribe.
absolutely kill if they just opened up the mics.
I think the tour is probably worried that that their
Yeah.
product or their how people view is going to be changed by something that someone says, or whether it's a swear word or whatever.
Yeah, Justin Thomas found that out. At,
Yeah.
Kapalua a few years ago.
Well, look, you send out a ranking of cuss words, and it's like the least. This is the least risky right here. More risky down here if you want to go.
If you want to go
look,
cunt,
Spectrum
You know,
of
if you want to go
Say the
cunt,
C word.
just
Woo! Good luck.
what about you've been watching any of the Live, all that stuff?
I try. I like want to. I just can't. The product is so bad.
I think it's Thursday, Friday. I really enjoy it. The only thing I would say is on the Sunday is the shotgun start is too hectic. The tradition of someone winning, that needs to be restored a bit. So even if you do a U draw, well, they did it at the Masters basically as a
Yeah.
weather. If you have a U draw where there's 10 groups and 10 groups, and then I don't know, say Leishman's leading and Matt Jones is 4 groups ahead, shoot 65, he can go back and like be under the ropes. But the whole finishing everywhere, I think, is great because there's no one being crowned on a Friday or Saturday. But Sunday, that's hard for me to follow.
If you were still playing and they came, if you were like, Graham DeLaet in 2015, okay, and Liv was happening, and they were like, Graham, here's
20 mil.
20 million, and you can play for these purses. What would you?
3
have done?
days, better on your back.
Most likely.
Yeah.
I would have been, obviously, it would have been a discussion with my family. and
Sure.
just- yeah, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
But there's
I
definitely a
can't-
discussion.
Like, for anyone to say that, I would never do that,
Yeah.
they're not being offered that either. So
No.
it's-
But
Yeah.
I have been to a couple. Went to Orlando last
really?
week. They're fun. Like the music thing, I caddied in Saudi Arabia last year for Matt when his caddy had an eye issue. And the first 10 minutes I was there with the music on, I was like, this is a bit weird. But I'm telling you, it's really good.
Is
On-
it
on- on
throughout
Tues-
the
do you know
course?
Yeah, now it's on the tee. So my kids who are nuts, rolling around, being silly, when they're on the tees, they don't have to be perfectly silent
Oh,
because the
that's
music's there.
interesting. So
we went
every
watched-
tee box,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, at Orlando, the 4 or 5 tee boxes I went to, they had them, and I was like, "This is good." So it's a different vibe, but I think they're not trying to be the tour; they're trying to be
Yeah.
different.
The thing
it's like
that
a
I
horse
don't
race.
like,
You
though,
been to
is-
the horse races? It's like a horse
Yeah.
race, mate.
I don't like how the Golf Channel, it's like CNN and Fox News. all they do is bash live. And you watch a live broadcast, and they're just like talking about how bullshit the world ranking system, how their guys are all getting.
We've spoken
screwed.
about this. It's a joke. Just let your product.
Right. Yeah,
Free market
that's the worst.
capitalism will take care of it. Stick to how good your product is, and then go.
But Graham, CNN's pretty bad, dude.
I agree.
Well, CNN pisses on your back and tells you it's rain. Fox just pisses on your back. I feel like morally, there's a little different. We'll have to edit that out.
Pricey sent you sent a video of just the live speaker at the tournament, just playing its music, just all by itself.
No, that was
nobody
that
around.
was an
18
Oasis song. That's why you sent it.
Yeah, it was 18 fairway, but yeah.
But it was like, wow, there's the speaker,
And
the
his
legendary
kids
speaker
are like
talking
beating each
about-
other up over in the corner, and nobody even knows. Yeah.
But I think that part, like, I don't think the tour needs to do that. But I do think, and that a guy who's writes not for Live, writes for the tour, went to the Orlando one, and he wrote this article, had pros and cons, and he even said the music thing was good.
Yeah, I can see it being good.
It's not pumping, and it's not like Megadeth or Metallica. It's just like pretty chill music.
I mean, who doesn't listen to music when they play golf anymore?
That's
Right.
right. Everyone has their.
Yeah.
Is it like territorial, the music? Like if they're playing in Mexico, they got like some.
Mariachi band.
Yeah, right. I'll stick with that.
We'll
beat.
see in Australia next week. I don't know, or 2 weeks, whenever it is.
Are you going? Are you going down there? For
No,
it? No.
Is that's going to be huge for Australia?
Australia's very pro Live because clearly they've got a team of Australians. So they're amped up and they feel a little, whether it's right or wrong, screwed by the tour. The tour has the fall series, so now no one comes to the Australian Open. So
I would have gone.
whether it's right or wrong in their debate, they are looking forward to this event. So
Cheering on their countrymen.
Is Australia pro Greg Norman?
yeah, I think so.
It's not split. Like they all. He's.
I think
loved.
a little bit. Like obviously he likes to.
Pretty polarizing guy. So I mean,
He likes to
it's either
post a
one
lot
way or
about
the other.
himself. So,
Yeah. And I know Aussies aren't like that. Like I remember growing up when we first knew each other, it was like you weren't allowed to say.
Yeah, you're not. It's called the tall poppy syndrome. But Norman, I guess, breaks the barrier.
Not allowed
Yeah.
to say what?
Like you're not allowed to be confident in yourself. You're not allowed to be like.
If you come like Leighton
Modest.
Hewitt, perfect example. Leighton Hewitt was number one in the world. He'd come out and be like, I played really good today. I'm just, I'm really feeling it. Everyone's like, oh, look at this wanker talking about himself.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just tall poppy. They want to cut you down. And I think Americans a little bit, not the good ones, but sometimes the guys, just playing college golf, like are in denial. Like, oh, I'm so close. I'm like, no, you're not. So there's a happy medium, right? There's a happy medium there somewhere. But Australia, terrible. Like you get judged harder if you're more successful.
Somebody asked me the other day, like, how big is the gap between like Canadian Tour and Web Duck or Corn Ferry and the PGA Tour? It's like, because everyone says like, oh, it's so close. You just need a little break. I'm like, it
depends on the player.
day.
No, I will defend that. There's guys that have probably played 3 seasons on the Canadian Tour who, if they can get to the tour,
JJ Spawn.
could win.
Yeah.
Like, they could win easily. It's. Remember Matt Jones and Chuck Hoffman sat on the Corn Ferry. Once they got to the tour, they played even better. Some people are comfortable and impatient. Bill Haas was stuck on the Corn Ferry for like 3 or 4 years, threatened to quit until he got. But in general, there's a difference.
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference.
The tour, the 100th guy on the tour is so amazing.
Right.
Like the 30th guy on the Canadian Tour is got a long way to go. The top few guys, of course, are completely.
Yeah, because you got to start somewhere. Like, but the guys who generally make it to the PGA Tour, they fucking fly through the mini tours, right?
Yeah,
like
it's done in 2 or 3 years
Right.
after college,
Yeah.
usually, right?
yeah, and because if it takes you longer, then you start douding yourself too.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's
That's
a
a
tough
big
hole
part
to
of
get
it.
out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's funding. There's like, hey, you're 27. If I want to not do this and start my accounting
Right.
career, do I start at 35?
Yeah,
It's there's a lot to risk. There's a lot of risk, and obviously I'm biased because we all played pro golf, but it's a little bit not thought about by the consumer.
How many years do you play on tour?
Just 3.
3.
just 3.
3, and a couple of them were just like half years, like 126 to 150.
Yeah.
I didn't have 33 top 10s, Graham.
That is a lot, dude.
I had 4.
What's the
4
one
top
tournament that you feel like, God damn it, I should have won that tournament?
Hartford 1 year.
Who won?
You don't even want to know.
Well, I do now.
I missed the playoff. Chris Stroud and Kenny Duke.
Wow.
Did you just throw up on yourself coming in, or
Who
what?
won the
No,
playoff? Ken Duke.
Yeah,
Duke.
I missed like a 5-footer for birdie on 15, and then 3-putted 16.
Oh,
But I played really well. I just like
yeah.
It's the most underrated back nine on tour by a mile.
That's my favorite course, like for fun to go play.
That leaderboard can do some moving on
yeah,
that back
it's
nine,
fun.
dude.
So the Dell match play or whatever, if they could move it to another course, that's the course. That's a great back nine to have match play on. So much shit can happen.
If you could
Yeah.
reroute it to where 18
was
was
17.
like a different hole, and,
Yeah.
and 17 was 18, and you can have the drivable hole, the par 3.
That'd be
and
16,
then-
17, 18.
Dude, that
That'd be
tee
great.
shot
That's
on
17. Oh my
is-
god, that's scary.
It doesn't get talked about. It's like there's nowhere to hit that ball, even with a 5-iron off that tee.
Yeah,
That
that's
would
a
be-
scary one.
and-
And you
and-
have to hit the fairway, or
Oh
else
yeah,
you
or
can't
it's,
get it on
there's
the green.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great track.
What a great week, really. I played with
Yeah.
Sergeant Slaughter in a pro-am there one year.
Who's that?
Oh yeah.
Who's that? You
a
definitely
wrestler.
didn't grow up in the States.
Is that a wrestler?
Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter. He's in full
Well,
gear out there. Never
Yeah.
played before. His caddy was carrying his bag like a briefcase around the course the whole day. It's fucking great.
Well, you guys know Jerry James. He was Agent Orange.
Yeah, he was
Agent
Agent
Orange.
Orange. That's right. Long driver. His son's Justin James. You follow that Long Drive any?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Dude,
Jackson
Sergeant
Goes.
Slaughter had his own GI Joe figure. I mean, he was
Oh, really?
he was
Yeah, he
huge
was
in
a
the
big
'80s.
deal.
Like Mr. T, Sergeant Slaughter. These guys, they were all these.
I started watching it was like
Characters.
Hulk and Ultimate Warrior, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's some good. You
Was
know
it
your
big in
wrestling.
Saskatoon, the
Uh,
wrestling?
I don't know. It's like, I don't think so.
I don't think it was.
I can't believe how many people like that.
Same.
It's shocking to me.
All right, so what about, like, do you see a foreseeable future where, you know, if stem cells or something work, you do get back?
Senior
No,
tour.
I don't think the senior tour is even going to be around.
Really?
In 10 years. I don't know.
I've heard that from a few people.
Like with the amount of money that the PGA Tour now has to put into these purses, and like,
Right.
I don't know what. Like, I think that they even have to supplement some of the purses on the Champions Tour right now. Like, I don't know. I don't see it happening because their main focus has to be the PGA Tour.
Right. Well, yeah.
But
Well, there was talk of moving the age back to 45.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
you kind of create this secondary tour, like a place.
well,
for
the
guys
problem
to
is you look at a guy
sunset their
like Chris
career.
DeMarco, and like these guys are like Ryder Cuppers, and they have like a 7-year gap where they can't. Like at 42, it's pretty hard to play on the PGA
Right.
Tour unless you're like remarkably talented.
Yeah, like there's like Ryan Palmer might be the only guy. Charlie Hoffman,
Yeah.
Watney's probably 43.
He's probably
Man.
43, 42. Adam
I've
Scott,
played with
42.
him in college quite a bit at Fresno State. Holy shit, was
I
he
love
good,
him.
man.
He's the
He's
best.
such a sweetheart. He's the
Hey, you
freaking best.
Remember those Titleist PT
Oh,
3
yeah.
woods and drivers?
Oh, yeah, go on
Dude,
somewhere.
Nick Watney was a world beater for a little
He
bit.
was an absolute.
His uncle was a
weapon.
coach, eh?
And you know he's never like everyone. At one year at the Greenbrier, we were playing blackjack in the casino, and they let the fans come in and play. Like if you have a ticket or whatever, you can come in. So he was playing, and this one guy's like, "How's my boy White Chocolate doing out there?" And I'm like, "Who's that?" And he goes, "Nick Watney." And I was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna love that you just called him that." And I texted him,
Loves
like,
the
"You're never
rap
gonna
music.
believe this."
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he is the best.
He was on
dude.
such a heater, and then I think he like made an equipment change or something. I think he went to Nike or something.
You never know, man. I mean, just shit happens
Yeah.
out there. You know,
Fuck yeah, it
people
does.
have kids, and then
Yeah.
shit
Well,
changes.
it's like, there's there like someone that like the first time you saw him play, like whatever, you're like, wow, this is different.
People have kids, their wives turn into crazy people. There's all sorts of shit. They get bad rulings.
It's a good question.
Who was the guy that you saw first? You're like, this guy
I'm
is
trying to
going
think.
somewhere.
somebody different?
Bill Haas. I
Yeah,
was obsessed
you know
with
what?
him in
I
college.
think
on and off the
same-
course.
Same for
Bill
me.
Haas.
Yeah.
He was just like he was hitting big golf shots in college,
He just had a different sound, but you know,
and he didn't give a fuck either. Like just walk
Yeah.
up and hit it.
yeah, he won the Schenkel one year. Oh no, he didn't win.
I won that year.
You won that year.
Yes.
I played 2 rounds with him and Camilla, and I was talking to him on 18 about his swing speed because I was just enamored with both of them, and I was a good player too at that time. And he's like, "Oh, he's just talking about," and he said, just rips his 2-iron back while he's talking to me and hits it on the green to 20 feet. Didn't give a fuck.
Oh, the next day,
awesome.
so he had like a 7-shot lead. All right,
What tournament is this?
this Georgia
The
Southern's
Schenkel.
tournament.
Okay.
My coach used to go there, Buddy, and, so we would go play in it, and I was a sophomore, 7-shot lead. After 4 holes, I'd already I think I might have had the lead. And his dad came in because he was going to break the Wake Forest.
Jay? Is that
Yeah, Jay
came in.
He would
'cause
come
Bill
to a
was
lot
going
of
to break the
college
record
rounds.
for most wins at Wake Forest if he won. And he just threw it in the shitter after 4 holes. I mean, it was great for me. But he full on quit after 4 holes.
And probably didn't.
Oh, Jay
didn't
walked
really
in.
care.
It was great.
that's funny.
Just typical father son. Ran that same shit at my dad too. I'm sure plenty of times.
That's
What about
crazy.
you, Graham?
What's that?
You got somebody that just blew you away.
Watney, that was my
Watney?
guy. The
Yeah.
first time I played with him. I played a lot with Brennan Steele in college too. He played at UC Irvine.
Yep.
He was good. There was just kind of a couple of those guys that just.
That guy in college, I got paired with. I got.
That was the funkiest move I'd ever played with.
Dude, so I had no idea about this guy, and I was doing this in school.
His
all right?
move's a lot better
And
now
I get
than
him
it
the
was
first
in
round of
college.
the pub links, and he didn't fucking miss from inside 15. He whooped my ass, dude. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, he was a good. Well, he still is. He's had a great career.
Oh,
Oh,
he's an amazing driver of the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, he is.
We-
Smash
He's
it.
got
played with
better
him.
almost every year too.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's but that move is a lot tighter than it was
it used to be
times two.
So.
how do you do
Around
that?
his back,
How do you
yeah.
even get there?
Yeah.
And it coming
Yeah.
from Australia too, where everyone's we focus too much on technique, not getting the ball in the hole. So when I would come, I think I may have played early college with him too, and I was like, holy shit, is this guy fucking? Is there a special category for people that can't hit it? But then I was, then he started hitting it, and I was like, holy fuck, this guy sends it. He's always been a great driver of the ball.
Yeah.
God.
But yeah, I was just obviously didn't realize Americans don't give a shit about the swing, as you shouldn't. As long as it repeats.
Yeah, there's so many guys now though that I'll watch hit and I'm like, damn, dude, that's pretty pure.
Yeah, but these
That Corey Connors is nice.
Machine.
Sit and watch him on the range.
he played with him in the Monday qualifier where he won at San
Oh,
Antonio.
really?
Yeah,
Didn't he hold a 30-foot on 18 to get into the playoff?
it was pretty funny.
Driver
So,
off the deck or something? Maybe
Yeah.
I'm over-exaggerating.
Yeah, it was at the time we were checking the scores to see where we stood. We were the last group in. I was already gonna miss by a couple, and Corey was needed to see what was going on, so he had to birdie the last, and it's this weird hole, and you gotta hit. It's either a 3-wood and a wedge or a 5-iron and an 8-iron, and he pulls out the 5-iron, and the guy caddying for me goes, he's gonna regret this. And he hits the 5-iron, hits a mediocre 8-iron to 20, 25 feet, and hoops it to go into a 5 or 6 for 1 playoff. Then gets in the playoff and then wins.
Changes his life.
That's the part that Canadian guys not that close, but there's plenty of weeks that a guy can do that.
Yeah, but that guy's a stud. He could do it any week. He could do it this week. He could do it this week.
But he
Yeah.
wasn't in the tournament. That's what I'm saying. He hadn't won yet, and San Antonio's a great week. It's the week before the Masters. The limelight's down a little bit.
Yeah.
Worst golf course. I fucking hate
I love
I
it.
love that place.
I hate it.
I love that
I love it.
place.
I used to make me so mad. I would just be in the grumpiest mood the entire week, and I'm like, why am I here? The one year Jules man, he talked me, and I'm like, I'm never going back to that place. He's like, dude, it's a great purse. The field's pretty weak. It's a chance. Let's just go there with a different attitude and let's go fucking make some money.
That place
I'm like,
separates.
all right, talk me into it. After 6 holes on Thursday, I'm looking at flights.
Yeah. That place when it first
liked it.
opened was ridiculous hard.
Well, the first year they had a
Rocks immediately.
Yeah.
2010.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the year I think I was leading for 45. It's amazing.
There's nowhere you can get more screwed by a draw than that place, I
Yeah.
think. The wind can fucking howl
Yeah, I can.
in the
Jeez.
afternoon.
Yeah, it's on top of a hill, and it's
I played with Todd Hamilton one year on number 9. He hit driver 3-wood and probably still had 80 yards into number 9.
Oh man.
that guy's a legend.
Yeah, he is.
Tells jokes, big joker.
Graham, thanks for coming in, bro. We
Oh, it's
really
good seeing
appreciate
you. I'm looking
it.
forward to playing some golf. I wish you were coming out there.
Nah, you don't want that.
You don't want it. He was out driving me the other day. This
No, I
guy.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Almost finished bad though. Got to save the handicap for the member guests.
Where do you play?
He's playing at Baker's Bay member guest coming up.
With who?
Whoa.
Nah, just a buddy here.
Yeah. He's got big friends. Big friends.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to. Can't do it on my own.
All right. See you
All
guys.
All right, cheers.
Thanks, fellas.